Hello everybody, welcome to this edition of Trade of the Day. Gold, this happened yesterday, Sunday 1st of December on the reopen. Just going to go through my prep, what my thoughts were going into the session, my weekend prep. So as you know, that's very, very important to me. I really encourage people to do a weekend review, prep, and to make sure that they're ready for the upcoming session. It's the only way you're going to have the conviction to execute and hold a trade to destination. So let's just have a quick look at what that is. So when you're doing your prep, you want to be looking at what the market's been doing. Is it doing a good job? Where are the likely areas where buyers and sellers need to try to hold on to to hold direction? And you want to make sure that you've got areas where you want to be focused on that your trade is either going to fail or really work out. So by doing this, we start off with our bigger picture. So this is my bigger picture. This is a weekly profile. You see the daily candles on here, and then you just want to kind of just create a narrative, see what's been going on. How do we frame an idea of a trade idea that we want to execute? So it starts off by basically having a look at what's been going on in general. This is a Trump liquidation. We've just kind of sold off after the elections, into the elections and after the elections, and you can see that then mid-month we kind of had this attempt to pull back. We've pulled back up to 27.52, and then the prior Monday we saw this big liquidation candle starting off from the Sunday reopen, so a bit like what happened this Sunday. And then we spent the rest of the week trying to step back up, short covering, very weak rally, but this tends to be the case when we have short covering rallies. So just to sum up, we basically got this relatively balanced week. Last week we looked above, failed, so we had this extension higher, then pulled back right down to into this low volume node, high volume node on the composite, and then we kind of step back up. So what did we want to see from buyers? Well, first of all, this is the liquidation candle high. This is the low. Draw some fibs, and one key marker that I've talked about before is looking at that 50%. So if buyers are showing that they've got the mustard, they really want to step up above the 50%. And what we saw actually, and this was a big kind of red flag, was that the buyers, they got up to that 50% mark to the dot, and then they kind of liquidated. Or we started to liquidate back down again. So sellers were, very, very active at this 50% level, which is, at your convenience. Please take a look at this. This is my weekly, my prep. I tend to do all my prep on a weekly. Come Sunday, Monday, the areas that I'm really looking for are the prior week's key MGIs, market generating information, your highs, your lows, your value area highs, value area lows, your POCs, and things like VWAP and settlement, very important. So just all the very, very key bigger picture levels from the prior week and the most recent auction, that being Friday. So let's just have a quick look. But just to go over again, for me, buyers really had to have above and hold that value area high for the week. This B distribution, buyers really haven't managed to do that. And so going into the session, I did some prep, and I was kind of worried that maybe this would have the possibility of liquidating lower, given the fact that where sellers stepped up in there. You can see also here on the composite, we've got this high volume node here, which is usually a good spot to look for a reaction. Right, so let's just have a quick look at how that looks when we break it down into individual daily sessions. So these are the overnight and RTH sessions. This is the liquidation from the Sunday, overnight RTH session, and then we just balanced, and I've just drawn out this area of balance. And you can see what happened was basically on Thursday we had this attempt to break above balance, and we kind of were holding. So this P distribution is an indication that, you know, especially in the context of a short covering rally, tends to be an indication that buyers are running out of mustard. And then when we start coming back inside on Friday, we saw it kind of close on its lows, and there was like a real obvious push into those lows. And so, you know, you always want to be kind of focusing what the auction is doing, how it's behaving, what is the price action, what is the most recent price action, and then focus on whether or not there's any change to that. So what we didn't see was a change from basically what we saw on Friday, which was sellers really taking control after these Thursday highs were put in. And then Friday we had a pretty balanced session, but we were closing in these singles. So again, we're looking at the weekly areas of interest, the value area high, but also the most recent auction, which would have been that Friday, and that Friday value area low, which is just there at around 78, was the marker to watch for. Hold that, break back below Friday's lows. You're looking at, you know, trying to take out these singles, try and get down to this this lower singles. That seems like a good target. Get through there. We're looking at the Thursday lows. Get through there, and then we're looking at these balanced lows, which is you know, down towards the value area low of the week, is around this Wednesday low as well. So, you know, you take things as it comes. You know, you've got your targets, you know where it could go. You know, you're going from one side of balance to the other side of balance. So this is the upper side of balance, where we're failing on Thursday, Friday, and then, you know, where your targets, the lower side of balance. On the counter side, had we held Friday's lows and we step back up again, get back above that, you know, shaded area, this had the possibility of a run to the up, and start taking out those Monday RTH highs, but that wasn't to be. But, you know, this is my prep from Sunday, so going into the session, this is what I was thinking. And you can see here I've kind of emphasizing the short side, that, you know, buyers fail to take and hold above that balance high. So let's have a look at, this is just a summary of what I've been talking about, you know, the absorption and hold into that 50% of the week, the B profile of the week, the push up into the value area high of that, buyers were getting stuck. So let's have a look. Also, there was a bit of macro news, gold, dollar, all these, you know, there was some comments, the key one here being the Trump increasing tariffs, potentially if they chose to move away from the dollar. So these guys have been all buying gold. They are some of the biggest gold buyers in the world. Russia, China and India alone make up the majority of the bid in gold on any given you know, by any margin. And we also had this, you know, this poor, you know, this weak ceasefire holding in Lebanon, which is now crumbling, but that's another story. So these were the news that were coming into the Sunday reopen, but the big one was this, you know, if BRICS chose to move away from the dollar, then they would get stumped with 100% tax tariffs. So basically, what would you expect from that? Well, that would be a dollar strengthening. So that's basically what we saw across the currencies, and of course gold at times moves a bit like a currency. So what actually happened? So let's have a look. This is the profile. This is what's happening in real time. Areas that we want to monitor is that value area low for from Friday. So indeed it kind of went up into that area off the open, and then we kind of had this very, very big strong liquidation lower. These are all the areas that I was looking for, I've kind of mentioned. Please have a look at this in your own time. Just because we're pressed for time, I'm going to run through this, but please have a look. These are the key things that I have just highlighted from this. So what happened? We had the overnight liquidation, of course, which we're going to go through. We had this open spike rejection into the value area low. This was a possible entry if you're waiting for it. Very, very difficult to trade that. You'll see why when I try to do a replay, and basically we had quite high volume. You see the volume really flip from positive to negative as we take out those Friday lows, and then we keep pushing low. And we're just going to look at those and see how we could have traded that. So here again is that summary there of what actually happened, and there's that spike up into that 78 area, the value area low from Friday, just underneath the IB mid, IB low. So spike off the open, really hard to trade that. If I've got time, we'll go through some, we'll do a replay and see if we can see how that traded. But around about 1 minute into the open, that's the spike that we saw, off the open straight off, but that candle off the open. And then we see it start stepping down. And what you see is it start to hold that Friday low, 74s. That is the key area. That was a possible entry. And I've marked that out there as a number 1 is a possible entry, number 2 is also another possible entry. So this, if you were paying attention, the break back below Friday lows and then the retest, that gives you your opportunity for a short. And if you have a chance to have a look at it on the replay, you'll see that there's like multiple attempts to push up into that 74 area, bang, 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 1, 2, 3. It spends about 5-10 minutes trying to get back up again, but the seller's still there, still there, still there, still there. You're not seeing much liquidity in the book, but what you're seeing is that every time there's a bid up into that 74 area, it gets whacked down. Bid back up again, whack down, bid back up again, whack down again. So that gives you a spot where you can actually execute, put your risk on, just above where you're seeing that seller just step in, step in, step in. And if you're lucky, you don't get stopped out, then you've got this run down to the downside. So as it runs down, it starts taking out our levels. So we're still trading inside that. This is Fridays, this is Thursdays, and we're sort of stepping down, and we're starting to, we've had the opportunity to go short on 1. If you failed that, you can see that little pocket of structure there, it gets retested there into the 70s. It tests again, 1, 2, 3 attempts, and then fails back to the downside. So if you didn't take the short on the 1 spot, you got in, you could have had it in on 2. And then we start to liquidate down, and I've highlighted this Thursday low as a really important area. It's 26.57, and as we drop down, we have a very aggressive move down low. A bit of panic, I think, sets in, and I've highlighted it with number 3, and then it pushes back up again, has a little look above the Thursday low, and it's, it questions. This is where you have to start thinking now. So that was the easy bit, holding the position through Thursday's lows. 26.57. We take that move really quickly. That's like 10 minutes worth of move, and you're looking at maybe 150 ticks there. And if you've got it at the top, you're looking at a couple of hundred. And anyway, pushes back up and then holds this area 61. So you see it then retake those lows. Latecomers jumping in now and getting short. But what we see is this push back up, and it retests that area to the tick. That is, if you're really very active, that is another opportunity to take a short up into that area there. You can see it pushing up. Basically, this is a shorts covering. Anyone looking to take profit, easy money, and then we get pushed back up into these 62, 61.9, almost to the tick, and then it fails back lower. And this is where you have, like I said, you've got to start thinking now. Once we start trading back above Thursday's lows, you want to be thinking, you want to see this auction below. You want to get it back down as quickly as possible, back down. It takes a good 20 minutes to get back down below, and it tries to get down, fails to take out that spike low, finds a rebid, comes back, but then it starts to hold. It starts to auction in this area here. Another attempt, 2, and then the final attempt, 3, and then basically sellers just know that the game's up here, and then we start to push back higher. Now, where you want to really be paying attention to, if you're really, if you haven't really caught on to the fact that this auction is now likely to, recover a little bit, move back upside, we really want to be paying attention to that prior Thursday low. And as you can see here, once we start trading above all the volume, all the POC, point of control, we really want to be very, very careful once we start trading above that line. And you can see basically it steps up above, has a little look below, finds support at the VWAP into this structure, this pocket of structure. Let me just draw it out. Finds support here, and then it starts to grind higher. Another short squeeze as we start to squeeze higher. But the key thing is to understand where those areas, where those areas holding. I like to draw little boxes around it in my head, the little pockets of structure. These are the areas I want to see tested. These are just like the little auctioning areas. This area here was important. And then, once that high there gets taken out, this is game over for shorts. Whoops. And you really want to, really, once we start trading inside that Thursday lows, you really will be thinking this game's over. Not to say that you want to go long, but it's tricky. You can see here as well later in the session into the open, we hold that Thursday low to the tick, and then we have a nice push higher. Into the open, it holds, and then you get the spike up higher. So that's pretty much the trade. That's basically how I saw it. Now, if you give me a chance, we'll do a little replay of the open and just have a look at the order flow and see what we could garner from that. Okay, so I'm just bringing in my my replay ladder now. For those of you who know, I'm a big advocate of using Sierra chart ladders. I love it, but I've just flipped over just to try out Jigsaw. One of the reasons is I think the ladder is a little bit cleaner, but also the replay is just so it's trouble-free and really easy to look at things, and it's all the data is held on their database. You don't need to download lots of data onto your PC, so it's a really good tool when you're traveling. If your PC can't hack it, Tradeovate and Jigsaw together, they make a great replay tool, and this is one of the things I want to be using to help you guys. So let's just have a look at this open. So I'm about to hit play at standard speed. You're going to see how this bids up immediately up into 78. And it's just almost impossible unless you've got an offer in there to actually execute that trade. At that point, it's a little bit early in the day. Maybe you don't want to be doing that. So let's just hit start and see what happens. There we go. Please work. Yes, there we go. Okay, there you go. Straight off, up into those 78s, and then offer. Moving back down, and see what I mean by it's that was like split second open, burst up into those 78s, and then this now gets rejected. So we're rejecting the value area low of Friday, that little push back up to 76s. You're very brave to take that short, but possible. The area that I'm really going to be looking for is this 74 area. This is the Friday lows. This is the area that I'm talking about, that it comes back, test it. You can see just now as it just bursts through, but then we start to move a little bit away from it, and then it comes back to retest it. So you might think that you've missed this trade. It's still there, but this is a very persistent offer into the 74 areas. Remember, we're trading gold. You can see the book's pretty thin here, but 74s they're holding there very, very nicely. Buyers aren't really getting above that 74 area. Okay. Anyway, that's the first instance. So you could have taken that short here. We don't have time to look at this, to see this through to the end. But so I'm going to have to be fast forwarding it, and I'm going to increase the speed a little bit. So I'm just going to pause it here, and then I'm just going to fast forward it to around about 20 minutes past, which. This is the last attempt at 74s. It moves away from 74s, trades down to, I don't know, just around about 70s, comes back to retest those 70s. So if you got these 74s the first time, recognizing that we're trying to hold the Friday low, you would have got your scales out and got a chance to re-offer. So let's just hit start here around about this is 20 minutes past the reopen. So we're trading around 72s, and then I'm going to speed it up a little bit because I don't know exactly where this is. And I want you to see again that reoffer again at that 74. Jigsaw is really great as well here because it kind of highlights all these key areas. I don't have to build my own spreadsheets, which is great when you're trading lots and lots of products. It highlights all the key MGIs that I'm looking for. Hopefully I haven't missed this. But basically what happens again here is that we come back in to retest yesterday's low and into that close 74s. Well, I think I've missed it actually. I think sorry guys, let me just pause. Okay, I've just found the spot actually. It was 3 minutes before, so I'm just gonna hit play now. This is the moment where it comes back up to test those that 74 area. Here it comes. Spies are trying to recover, and then look straight back down again. And so this is the area that you really want to be looking at. You want to looking at yesterday, the low and into the close. But we saw the sellers really standing in at the 74s. And then it starts to reoffer down. Now, you get this trade on, and what you want to be looking for, you want to trade it. I like to trade things in multiples. You want to get some risk off as quickly as you possibly can. You're wrong above 74, 75s, that area there. You want to define your risk somewhere structural, and then you want to try and get some risk off as quickly as you possibly can. Generally, so 74s down to 70s pretty quickly. And had you taken that trade, once you've got your risk off, you kind of want to just let it run, and then very, very quickly you see this just start to tumble, and then sellers have got hold of it, and then you want to kind of hold it for as long as you possibly can and monitor for continuation. Okay, and monitor for continuation, things I'll just repeat now. I like to frame things in areas of, I like to, that's a little pocket, a bracket, and then it just comes back to retest those areas. And then you want to make sure that if you're short, you don't want to be trading above the upper side of that bracket. You want to be holding these areas of structure. This is a big breakdown, and then all of a sudden we've got this pocket here to kind of be monitoring, which is where we then define the trade as over as we step up above the Thursday low, and then we continue to the upside. But you can see very, very quickly this is being played at 4 times speed, but very, very quickly, if you were managing to identify that area, that Friday low, then getting in this pocket here is a good spot. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. I hope that you guys found this interesting. The key thing is to make sure you do your homework on the weekends, and to be ready when the markets reopen on Sunday. There's always a good trade in one market. You might not catch this one. I'll put my hands up and say that I didn't manage to catch this one, but I've reviewed it because it was such a good move. I did prepare for it, but I was concentrating on some other things, and I just didn't see this. So all the prep in the world doesn't mean you're going to catch the trade, but I wanted to review this for everybody and myself. So hopefully you found that interesting, and if you like this, please like and share. Follow the Balanced Trader. There'll be more of these trade of the day breakdowns. I find them really interesting, and now I've got this this great tool, this Jigsaw Trader. I'll be doing some more order flow analysis in gold and other markets. Just as a reminder, I don't just trade ES, I trade all markets, which is why sometimes I miss things. Always better to try to focus on one thing, but now we've got Trump coming in. The markets I'm focusing on are some of the commodities, gold, copper, and oil are definitely on my radar, a lot more than they have been for the last few years. So just a heads up there, I'll be trading a lot more of those other products. Bitcoin also is probably another good one to keep your eye on. moving forward. Okay, right. Have a good evening, everybody.